Hey, this is Matt Wenning at WenningStrength.com, and what you're about to see is an upper body workout for dynamics. You're going to see me changing the rep schemes, the set schemes, a lot from last week or the last time we shot the workout. You're also going to see set changes inside the workout. So the speed work will go normal speed sets to ratchet sets to pause sets to sets with my feet up. Now, we're going to get to that on Patreon of why and how we do that kind of stuff. So stay tuned and let's take a look at this workout. So last week we started here and we ended here. So now we're going to change it. We're going to start here and end here. These small changes are going to allow you to press lots and lots of volume without getting beat up too much. But everybody gets used to doing it a certain way, and that way starts to limit you because you start getting all these little nicks and bruises and kinks and injuries. Switching around this stuff constantly is going to be a big deal in maintaining pressure. What you saw was me pulling it to the eyebrow. Now, I used to do a lot of that when I was younger, but I believe that builds a really strong upper back to reverse the bench press and all the pressing volume we're going to do today. Furthermore, the better thing about that exercise is that it starts to build a really big shelf for a straight bar squat. So when you got those kind of muscles and you sit that bar in your back, it can't move. The rear delts get so big and the traps get so big it actually locks the bar onto your back. It can't roll down and it can't roll up. It kind of stays on a shelf. So that's really important for powerlifting. Now this next one is cross body tricep. You see I got my hand turned backwards. This really forces me not to be able to really use any shoulder. So if you're having problems getting your tricep stronger and we're maybe working around a shoulder injury, doing this stuff like this cross body almost completely takes away the shoulder activation out of the movement and actually makes the tricep actually work quite a bit harder. The next thing we'll use today on the Wenning warm-up is a reverse fly on a TRX handle. So this is what it'll look like. As you can see, we're kind of coming up into a kind of a cross position. This is really focusing on the rear delts. So as you can see, we're thinking about countering all the bench pressing that we're going to do today. And if we count the volume, we're probably going to do about twice as much back as front. Now, the reason that we do that because not only are we countering the bench press pressure, we're also countering natural posture. So, you know, the old lady walking in the grocery store doesn't look like this because she used to be a bench presser. Gravity did that. So gravity is also pulling you forward. So if you have a sit-down desk job, or you're sitting in your car a lot, or you're on your phone a lot, you need to counter all those pressures on a daily basis, and that's what we do. A lot of people pick up on speed work is that it's rate of force development. So a lot of people go, well, how does that help with being maximal effort strong? It's about the neural contraction. If your body only understands 100 miles an hour, where no matter what it lifts, your chances of lifting maximal weights very strong or very high. So you got to understand it's more about how you connect your spark plugs, your nervous system to the muscle than it is actually training the muscle. So going heavy is more specific, but going lighter and faster is more neural conduction, therefore transferring over to going heavy. The trick is that you're always trying to create high force. And you can do that playing around with mass, or you can do that playing around with acceleration. But if you use the same method too long, it's going to stagnate. And that's why we go on mass one day and acceleration the next. Another big trick on doing speed work is constantly changing the timing. So you saw that was just up and down, almost like a massive touch and go. It almost kind of looked like a bounce with that kind of weight. The next one I'll pause. The next one I might do a ratchet set. The key is I'm trying to confuse the nervous system. I'm trying to confuse my muscles, but at this point it's very hard to do. But the point is creating rate of force with all different kinds of eccentric phases. The trick is though is always trying to blast through the concentric. So no matter what you do on the way down, That's what you need to be doing on the way up with everything that you lift, especially if it's for powerlifting or power or tactical or anything else. You gotta remember, you gotta conserve those type 2 fibers. All explosive stuff in between the bench sets to kind of really increase that explosive power. We don't do this very often. This isn't something you want to do maybe more than twice a year, but that little bit of extra pop kind of just starts to innervate new fibers. It's kind of called post-activation potentiation. So obviously the bench press is heavier than the med ball, so it makes the med ball lighter, but it's teaching your brain to 100 miles an hour every time you hit something. Alright, this one's going to be feet up. So feet up's a lot more core strength because you're dealing with stuff going like this. Take away the leg drive, you're probably going to lose about 10% to 15% of your power. So if you watch a guy bench like Maddox, his leg drive is unbelievable, and that's what gets the weight started. So that's why it's important to train legs, even though you're only a bench-only guy. But it's great to train legs up a few sets of workout, or have a workout designated only to keeping your legs up in the air. Okay, so you just had a sample of the workout that we had and all the explanations of why we're doing things. We're gonna start shooting a lot more of these videos on Patreon, so go subscribe to the top tiers, and that way you can get access to seeing these workouts, the whys, the hows, and the whens to do them, and then we'll be able to keep all this stuff rolling for you and keep adding more content, so stay tuned.